Well, hi again, folks. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director here for the City of Pearl, and welcome in to This Week in Pearl, where we're going to tell you all about things going on in the city, and we will talk to Mayor Jake Windham as our spotlight this week, and he'll give us an update for the month of May here in the jewel of the Crossroads. Hey, right now, our spring cleanup is up and running, and our city crews from Public Works are making their rounds across the city to help clean up your yards and clean up anything that you have laying around the house. So right now our spring cleanup is running. It is started on May the 7th and it will run all the way until the 21st. Public Works will pick up separated leaves and tree limbs curbside. So basically any vegetation that you have, lay it out curbside that you yourself have taken down. We don't want contractors. If you have a contractor that comes and cuts a tree down, don't let them put it out by the curb because we probably won't pick it up. But if you have some limbs and branches or anything that you personally cut, you can take it and put it out to the curb and our Public Works crews will come pick it up. Pearl residents, you can dispose of furniture, appliances, and other large items for free at the city compactor, which is located at 201 Landfill Road. It's the road that runs right before Miss Doris Berry's Farmers Market there. So you take that road that goes right on up and you can take things to the landfill to have them disposed of for free. ID is required, so you have to prove that you are a City of Pearl resident to make use of that free opportunity. No chemicals, paint, tires, or other hazardous materials are allowed at our city compactor. The compactor hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., and on Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon. Now, commercial rates still apply for contractors and rental property owners. If you have any questions, please give our Public Works a call at 601-932-3520. Hey, we have another great opportunity for public input here coming up as Main Street Pearl is getting off the ground, and we're having the big Main Street Association from the state come in and help us as we develop our plans to develop our city. We have a listening session coming up for you to voice your opinions and your ideas. That's coming up on Tuesday, May the 24th at 5:30. It's going to be held in the Pearl Community Room in the Gold Room. Again, that's your chance to come and give your ideas for what a downtown Pearl should look like, what kind of things we need here in the city, restaurants, businesses, anything you'd like to see, that's your opportunity. They also have a survey that is going around, and you can access that on our City of Pearl social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, where you can scan a QR code and it'll take you right to the survey, or you can click a link, and again, that's your opportunity ahead of time to provide your input about what Pearl should look like as we approach our 50th birthday. If you have any questions about the Main Street Pearl program, give Kathy Bourgeois a call at 601-932-3503, or you can give her an email at kbourgeois, that is KBOURGEOIS, at cityofpearl.com. It's going to be an exciting time as we take a close look there at our Main Street Pearl program. Got some exciting news about our city radio station as they are going to be moving a frequency. WPBP, the Pirate, will change from 104.5, where people have listened to it forever. It's moving to 104.3 on May the 27th. So if you have them saved in your preset, be sure to move it just to the left and lock us in. We're also available on the TuneIn radio app. It's a new look and a new parrot mascot, but still the same great music as we continue to play almost everything. Remember, the Pirate is on the move from 104.5 to 104.3 on May the 27th. Hey, we're going to step aside for just a moment. When we return, we will have Mayor Jake Windham here to talk about everything going on in the month of May.
Pearl is the jewel of the Crossroads. We are nestled at the heart of I-55 and I-20, Highways 80 and 49, Thousands travel through our city with the international airport in our backyard. We are the largest city in Rankin County. We have a wide range of housing with new options going up all the time. We are a prestigiously A-rated school district. We are the home of champions. Our young people strive for excellence in academics, athletics, and extracurricular activities. We provide first-class service at every level, from police and fire to public works, parks and recreation, senior services, and community development. We keep you in the know with our own TV and radio stations. We are a hardworking, business-friendly community with diverse opportunities, from retail to dining, hotels and manufacturing. Along with Hines Community College, state offices like MEMA, the State Fire Academy, MDEQ, and the State Crime Lab, Pearl has it all. We have a devoted Chamber of Commerce that tirelessly promotes our businesses and is dedicated to their success. We are a great place to play. We welcome thousands of visitors with our new state-of-the-art ballparks and beautiful nature parks to spend a day. We have tremendous shopping opportunities, including the Riverwind District, home to Bass Pro Shop, Sam's, the Outlets of Mississippi, the Cinemark Movie Theater, restaurants, and hotels. The Mississippi Braves, the AA franchise of the mighty Atlanta Braves, have drawn more than 3 million fans to Trustmark Park since 2005 and have won 2 league championships. We have always put our people first since becoming an official city in 1973. Together,
we are Pearl. We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl. We are Pearl. We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl.
We are Pearl. We are Pearl.
we are Pearl.
Well, it is time now to dive in over at City Hall, and we are blessed to have our mayor with us, Jake Windham. And boy, have we got summertime on the brain, right? School's about to let out. The weather is like, shoot, it's almost 90 degrees now here in early May. We're ready for summer, aren't we?
We are, and just for the citizens out there, we're not forgetting the ditches. When I think about summertime a lot, I think about cutting ditches. That's kind of where my mind goes for public works. So those guys will be really busy. But yeah, getting the summer kicked off well, just finishing up Pearl Day concert, and I thought those artists did a good job. Let's clarify something. You know, we're going to have something at the park next year as far as local vendors. The chamber actually directs that and orchestrates that, but we're going to have people at the park, like if you kind of be nostalgic, go back to that area and do some things. That's what my mindset is, what my thought process is. However, I will say this, when you have big acts that come into the city, you got to think about parking. You got to think about the availability in that area. And then if you spend money on upgrades, then people damaging the area. So we do want to bring back the gospel singing and the small bands and the vendors back to the park next year, and it will be done by then. It will be done. Anyway, that's going to be good. I think that's going to be really good. Matter of fact, I was thinking about kind of in retrospect about that. I remember when the Kiwanis Club, they had a barbecue cook-off down there 15 years ago, which was great. That's the type of atmosphere that I want, or I would like to see in that area, and then we can still have a major concert at Trustmark Park in that parking lot, because next year we're turning 50. It's a big deal. So we want to make sure that we do it right, and we have some good artists that come in and play for it and put the total package together for.
You know, and that's one of the things I know in talking to you is you really kind of wanted to bring it up to a, you know, back to a maybe a 2-day event where you bring the whole city together, and like you said, trying to bring the park back with some, you know, some music playing in there and your vendors and fun stuff to do, and then, man, you know, you get a big act. Yeah, you use that at Trustmark and you show off that side of town and then the central part of town. So I think that people need to understand that there's a lot of thought going into our 50th birthday.
Yeah, I think that we'll probably, I have a meeting with Stacy Smith, our events coordinator, right after this meeting. So she and I will probably talk about getting the Pearl Day meetings started 6 months in advance of what we ordinarily do, because we're looking at a 50th anniversary. But yeah, there is a lot of thought process. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to Pearl Day. And just to clarify, I've seen some rhetoric or talk on Facebook about, vendors not there. So there's a window. Pearl Day is driven by artists and their availability, and then we have to get contracts. Sometimes their publicists or their managers not responding, or it may take a few weeks for that documentation. Well, you push that out, and then you get closer to the Pearl Day event itself. Well, then it's hard to get vendors provide them a set date for them to be there, and so sometimes there's some complications dealing with artists. They're just so fluid to try to make sure that they're there. So a lot of things that are calendared, it depends on their availability, which ultimately in this case, if we didn't know the exact date until about 60 days out, it makes it difficult because a lot of vendors are already set for other shows at that point. And we didn't want to make it where it was not a good turnout, but we thought that the Pearl Day concert itself, and so in our minds we're just thinking next year we're punting, and part of it will be at the park, and then part of it will be at Trustmark, and we could show off our city, show the baseball fields, and we're going to be talking about a few items today that we can also display or put on display for people that come to the city.
Very cool. Well, I will say this, that I think a lot of folks that were at the show for this year's Pearl Day are going to be able to look back in a few years and say, I remember when Nico Moon played here. I remember when Jamison Rogers played here, because those are some really talented young men.
Yeah, both of those guys are up-and-coming artists. And you like to see people, I guess they started just playing small towns, bars, things like that, and then you see them on the rise. And so next year, like you're saying right now, you might see a top 10 single, from one of those two guys, which will be great. And you say that you saw them right here in Pearl, Mississippi.
Well, that was awesome, and that was a great way to help close out April. And we're going to have a great event that the mayor came up with that's going to help us close out May. And you're going to have Let the Good Times Boil out at the Pearl Municipal Golf Course, a crawfish boil, and just a fun night for families to bring the kids out, enjoy some food and music and just the outdoors.
When we selected the golf course, if someone has not been up there lately, they need to go up there and look at the view that it has. I mean, you can see all of the metro area, Pearl, you can see Jackson really good. It's a good spot to have events, and we want to utilize those areas more to try to have things for our folks to do. I mean, it's a $10 for admittance into the Crawfish Boil. There's going to be 2 bands there. Some really, really local people that are playing, but they're really talented. I think they're going to do a really good job. And yeah, just to hang out and do something fun. That was one of the things that I really want to concentrate on the second term, was trying to get more events for our people within the city. They don't have to be huge events, just something for people to go and do. And I think this event will be especially fun because we'll have bounce houses and availability for kids to be there, and kids under 5 get in for free. And I think it'll be a good time.
Well, it's $10 is to get in, but you get more than just walking in to the golf course for $10. You get your first plate of crawfish, which, man, you get your food taken care of in advance.
Yeah, that's a pretty reasonable price. That's pretty reasonable. So we're hoping that we have a good turnout. And that's Saturday, May 21st from 4 to 9.
Yeah, the live music that's going to be there that night, again, just 2 really good artists. You may not have heard of them yet, but you soon will. It is Travelin' Jane and Daniel Howes, and you can get your tickets through eventbrite.com. It's all digital ticketing, so even if you want to walk up the day of the crawfish and you park your car, get your tickets, show it, and you walk right on in.
Yep, that's right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time, and I'm looking forward to it.
As long as we get nice weather. And you know what? As you mentioned, the Pearl Municipal Golf Course has the best view in central Mississippi. You can actually look safely into Jackson from our golf course, right?
You can. You can.
So that is going to be a whole lot of fun. And you have an opportunity. Mayor was just telling me about our disc golf course, which has gotten some major upgrades out there, is going to be hosting a big tournament on May the 21st earlier in the day as well.
Yeah, and just recently, well, over the past 6 months, we've worked with some guys. Jay Gaines, he's a disc golf guy, and there's several other fellows that we've worked with. That course was originally, Jimmy Foster just allowed some guys back in '05, approved it for them to go hang some baskets up there. And they created a disc golf course. Well, it's one of the most difficult courses in the state, by the way. It really is. So now we've kind of made it our own with the help. We went in partnering with the disc golfers. They were able to provide some labor. We were able to provide some material, and we put in new concrete tee pads, new disc golf baskets, also put in new signs for each hole. And I think I was explaining it to you earlier. You can go up with your phone, it has a QR code, and then after it connects to your phone, it will show you a drone flyover of the hole. It's a big sport. It's a big sport. We're supposed to have like 200 disc golfers up there.
Wow.
They're aware of the Crawfish tournament, so we made sure they knew that. But we've worked really well with those guys just to try to be a public-private partnership to have something kind of cool up there at Center City. It's always been a good course. We've just improved it and provided the TLC and the materials needed to make it one of the it's like a rated number 4 or 5 course in the state of Mississippi at this point.
Well, you can play regular traditional golf right there at All Golf Course, which is fantastic. And then you can play disc golf. The disc golf course is pretty much next to the golf course, just past the big fields, the baseball, softball fields there at Center City, and the soccer field. So, and all you need, for lack of a better term, they call it a disc, take a Frisbee out there and just throw it, and you're trying to get it down in the basket is the ultimate goal in the fewest amount of throws.
Right. That's exactly right.
Are you good at disc golf?
No, I have my brother is, Daniel Windham. He is very good at disc golf, and he's excited about it. He goes up there all the time.
Well, it's going to be a great day. Again, that's May the 21st. Get your tickets for the Crawfish. Hey, try disc golf if you haven't tried it before. It's really, really cool. All right, so some great events going on in this city. You've got a big project that people always love to talk about, paved roads, right? So we're going to have a new paving project, and you said we're going out for some bonds.
So several years ago, the legislature passed what is called the Modernization Act, and it takes internet sales tax money and diverts it back to cities. The first year is 25%, second year 50%, third year 75%, the fourth year is going to be 100%. Where our 100% that's going to be diverted back to city is about $2 million a year.
Wow.
So you can only use this on maintenance of existing infrastructure, water, sewer, and roads. What we thought, or what we're thinking, and what I presented to the aldermen, and they're on board, is going out to the bond market and receiving some funds, bonding some money. Don't bond the whole amount of the $2 million. Bond about $700,000 or $800,000 a year. Come in and if you do about a $4 million, an additional $4 million road project within the city. So right now we've paved about 66 miles of road in the last 4 years. This will provide somewhere in the same neighborhood of that, give or take. I want people to understand roads aren't measured under miles, it's square yards, the amount of material that goes into the road. So if you have a 20-foot wide road that's a mile long, it's going to be one price. But if you have a 40 feet like Riverwind, for an example, something that's much wider, you're going to have more square yards or more material. So it does drive cost, and of course costs are higher. However, we think that if we go out to this, we've paid off 2 road bonds, by the way, and then we did one more. We're finishing up spending the money. We have to spend these funds within 36 months, so the people in the city will be seeing many more roads being paved. Usually, the way things work out with the weather in a construction season, you see about $2 million a year that can be done. So we're trying to be conservative and not bond all that money. We could bond the whole $2 million. However, holding back about 1.3, 1.2, that gives us the abilities to, let's say you have to go repair some curb and gutter in the neighborhood. You can do other ancillary projects with that money as long as it's dealing with water and sewer and asphalt. So we thought that was the most prudent way. And we didn't just think that up on our own. We have a really good financial consultant by the name of Nick Shore that advises us, and he's really helped us throughout the process get the city back where it needed to be financially. So we continue to listen to him. He says that a lot of times he'll go into meetings and he'll provide information to county and cities of what they need to do financially, but they want to spend a different way, and that's not how you get on track. So we don't want to break character on what we've been doing the whole time as far as our finances are concerned. We want to listen to our advisor and move forward, but we're still going to be able to provide some big projects for the state. Now, the other part of that is, of course, it's always a touchy topic, was water bills or water meters. So there's going to be $3 million of that money. So we're going to be approximately $7 to $8 million of road bond, and $3 million of that 8 is going to be used to replace our water meters in the city. And we have some very old water meters, and what we're going to do is go in and put cellular reads. That way people can pull up an app on their phone and they can actually look at their usage. They can check that out. Now, I'll give fair warning, these meters are going to read better because they're newer.
You may not want to know exactly what you're
but what it's going to do is it's going to be able to provide that. I mean, it's really cool technology. So you put it's a retrofit meter with Badger, and well, I don't know if Badger, it's out to RFP. I'm not sure if Badger's going to get it or not, but you retrofit the meter, and we don't even have to have guys come out there and check it or ride by. It dumps back to the cloud. So personnel can be doing other things besides checking meter. It takes us 12 days to check meters in the city of Pearl.
Well,
we use a lot of manpower. Yeah, it's just, that's right.
Efficiency.
That's right, adding efficiency. And another thing that we thought was kind of a nice aspect, if you're going on vacation and all of a sudden if you have a high use alert at your house, then you look and see, and if you might have a leak at your home, you can get somebody, call the city, and we'll come over there and cut your water off.
You know, that is the great part, because I had a neighbor of mine. She lives in a 3-2 house, and she never uses a bathroom, right, on the other side of the house. Never really uses it. Turns out that the toilet had been running for months, and she had a leak, and had no idea until she got her water bill, and then it was investigated that, there for sure was a leak. So now you'll have that ability. If you're looking at it, you'd be like, oh my gosh, why is my water spiking?
Right.
And you could catch that so much faster. So instead of getting a $2,000 water bill, right, you'll be able to cut it off and nip it in the bud pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's the premise behind it. We think that if we can show or give our citizens more tools to be able to look at those things, and I think that just provides additional transparency too, understand how things work. We know that we've seen some increase in water bills because of the sewer treatment plant coming online, and it's part of paying for infrastructure. So we just want to make sure that we're allowing our citizens to engage more. They pay for it, and we just want them to be a part of that.
Well, the smart use of technology and looking to save finances wherever you can. It's been a great start to the second term, and man, kudos to our Public Works Department and their director, Shane Burrell. Those guys are always on top of it and working as hard as they possibly can, right?
Yeah, those guys put in a lot of hours. I don't think people realize the overtime, but some of those guys have to put in order to get the things done that need to get done. And on top of that, during COVID, we had a manpower shortage. We didn't lose employees, but we had inmate labor that we use a lot, which was restricted from us. Now we're getting back to normal, so we'll be a little quicker on some work orders as far as some of the handling the vegetation within the city, bush hogging and ditches, and we're going to make sure that we take care of those things. And my thoughts are on this, and I think it's just a common sense application. We try to go to the areas low-lying that historically flood or have flooded to cut those ditches first before we move through other areas. I just think that's a smart thing to do to try to help get that water flowing. But there's a lot more things they do. I mean, it's countless things. When you talk about the water side too, going out repairing water leaks. And this time of year, when you're coming out of that, you transition out of that winter time to that springtime, the ground with the amount of clay that we have in it swells and shrinks, and so those guys have several water leaks. But between our water comprehensive plan, which is a separate issue that we've discussed about replacing a lot of lines in the city, and we are on the verge of, if you count all of our projects, and I said it at my mayor's prayer breakfast, that I mean we're in the tune of $80 million between state projects and public projects over the next 3 or 4 years. So we're going to make a big splash and try to take care of our people here in Pearl.
That is going to be fantastic and a wise use of the funds that we're getting. Finally, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about some city hall improvements that you're undertaking.
Yeah, we need some maintenance upgrades here. The parking lot here at City Hall looks pretty tough, and I told somebody several years ago, they said, well, City Hall needs to be repaid. I was like, well, I'm not paving City Hall before you pave some streets.
Right.
But in some areas, it's become so deteriorated that we really need to do it. The library needs to be able to have some shine. Also, the senior center back there. I mean, that asphalt's old. You can see it because the aggregate starts coming out of it. You can see the rock in it. Back here in between City Hall and the broadcast building as well, there's more deterioration there that really needs to be replaced. We're going to tear down a building. It used to be the old ECEC building. The board has not voted on this, but I really think that they're in agreement with me. We received the building from the school district and started looking at it. We really don't have a use for the space, but it's on our complex. And we priced a roof for it. And the roof was $100,000. And it has some old plumbing issues in it. And then we priced air conditioning units. And then they were about $50,000. So we're putting $150,000 in a building that we're not going to use.
Right.
And it's an old building. People might disagree with me, but the building is not in the best shape aesthetically either, as far as looks are concerned, compared to some of the other buildings on our campus here. So we're going to tear it down, turn it back to green space, take back some of that parking lot too for green space. And green grass always looks better than an old building, in my opinion, that doesn't have any use, and it's going to cost you more money for it just to sit there, and you're not going to use it anyway. If we have needs for another building within the city, then we'll save our pennies and we'll build a new building and have something that looks nice. And then this parking lot on the other side, this old parking lot beside you guys right here building the grounds, we're going to turn that back to turf as well. I mean, when you put green grass around an area, and you want City Hall standing tall, you don't want it looking rough, and we just need to do some upgrades to it that's long overdue.
Hey, and green space gives you the opportunity. Who knows what can go out there? You never know. Little parks, little flowers, it just...
Well, additional playground equipment and things like that, pavilions. I mean, just, the sky's the limit when you have green space, just a play area.
Yeah.
But it looks a lot better, and I think that once a city, and what we're trying to do is use what we have existing. We're not trying to build new structures. We're trying to take what we have, again, from a conservative approach and just upgrade those things. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably the right thing. I'm not saying for other cities, but I mean, just like when I was talking to Nick Shore, our financial consultant, somebody says, hey, we want to build a new city hall. Well, you don't need a new city hall. Why do you want to build another city hall? Just because? I mean, I don't think that's the best use of funds. But what I can do is take care of what we have and manage it well and make sure the maintenance is in place.
Well, we've got a lot of cool things coming up here in the month of May. Officially still spring, even though it's feeling like summer, about 95, 96 this coming week. A lot of exciting times, Mayor. You guys are doing a great job, and we look forward to all the improvements that are going to be happening.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. I appreciate your time, man. Have a good day.
All right, we'll be right back with more This Week in Pearl.
Hello, I'm Mayor Windham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here, you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Well, we encourage you to stay connected with the City of Pearl, and there are several ways for you to do that to find out news and information. The number one way is to, first of all, take out your cell phone and text the word Pearl to 91896. That's the word Pearl to 91896, and there you're going to receive city text alerts when we have important information to pass along. It'll come right to you on your phone. Hey, you could stay in touch with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the name Pearl Government. You can go to cityofpearl.com, our website, which has so many valuable resources. We encourage you to check that out, the cityofpearl.com. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of This Week in Pearl. We hope you have a great week. And remember, Pearl is a great place to live, work, and play, which makes us the jewel of the crossroads.